What's up you guys, it's Aisling and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be homing in on just one product. The reason why I'm doing a more dedicated video to this product is because I really want to put it to the test. I just thought it was really interesting. So the product that we are talking about is the Catrice new Tensational 10-in-1 Dream Primer. Not so long ago I did the 1 minute face perfector. I'll link that video down below, which is a product that can be used as a primer or as a foundation, and I really liked it. So I thought that I would test out another primer from Catrice today because it has 10 claims, which is an awful lot of claims for a primer. And when you hear the claims, you will understand why I'm putting it to the test today. Are you ready to hear this? Priming, hydrating, anti-wrinkle, natural glow, anti-pollution, anti-oxidation, pore minimizing, evens out skin tone, blurs imperfections, UV protection with an SPF 15. The anti-wrinkle thing, I don't know if that means that it's going to stop it creasing on you, which I'm going to try. The anti-oxidation is the other thing that I'm really going to put it to the test on because I have the perfect foundation. Well, I have two. I have the Urban Decay All Nighter and then I have the L'Oreal, oh my god, Infallible 24 Hour, that one. And both those foundations oxidize on me, so that's why I wanted to use this one. The anti-pollution I won't be able to test out. Natural glow, yeah, I can do that. And hydrating, brilliant, because my skin, even though I've been drinking a ton of water, is a little bit dehydrated. My skin is naturally oily. I think it's because the seasons are changing. We're going from summer into autumn. I just think my skin's going through a bit of a change. The natural glow and the hydrating, I'm interested to see that. And blurs imperfections, evening skin tone. So there's lots that I can test with this. Obviously it's UV protection and anti-pollution. That's not really going to be something that I can test too much on, but I'm just really keen to try out this product. The packaging looks really luxe on it. It comes in this pearl squeezy tube, and then there is a touch of gold and like a black lid with gold in it. It just looks kind of expensive for Catrice. I'm not shading them, but you know, Catrice is a really affordable brand and I just feel like the packaging in this looks really expensive. So we're gonna peel off the top of this and see what the product inside is like. I'm just gonna put it on the back of my hand. Okay, so it does have a color, and when we blend it into the skin, you can see that it is radiant. Like, look at my hand with nothing on it. And then this, it has that radiant glow to it, and my skin needs a bit of radiance because I just think it looks very flat. And I'm just going to apply it all over my face like I normally would, and I'm just going to use my fingers because that's how I normally apply primer. It has a slight fragrance to it, and also the colour of it does remind me a little bit of the Essence primer that I loved. Hang on, I'll try and get that one. The Fresh and Fit Awake primer, which they discontinued, and this kind of feels a little bit like that, and it kind of gives that same appearance because that has like a radiant effect to it as well. So I'm quite liking this so far. I'm just going to apply that all over my skin or down my T-zone. It'll be interesting because of the 10 claims and one of them being an anti-wrinkle. Will this crease my foundation, or is this just going to protect me against getting wrinkles down the line because it is anti-pollution? Because they're going to protect against free radicals. I don't know, it's a bit of a big claim to say anti-pollution. Like, does that protect, like I said, against free radical damage? Primer for me is like something I would use on its own. Just put my moisturizer on, put this primer on, and then like head out the door. Especially because it has an SPF 15 in it. If you had a moisturizer that doesn't have an SPF in it and you didn't want to put foundation on, this looks really nice. Like, this is making my skin look radiant. Like, I can see the luminosity of my skin, which I quite like. Even though I am oily and I try and avoid products that do look like this, it is quite radiant on my skin. You can't deny it. It's just melted into my skin. It's not sitting on it, and it's not causing like, you know, that shimmery effect that you get from some primers. They have like a shimmer in them and it's like this glitter that kind of sits on top of the skin. This is like sunken into my skin and it just looks glowing. I'm going to go ahead and apply the two foundations I had in mind. I have my all-nighter here and I need to find my other foundation that I have in mind. I really hope they match, so I'm not going to have two-tone skin today because that will not be fun. Right now, so we have L'Oreal Infallible 24 Hour Fresh Wear, and then the Urban Decay All Nighter. Two different formula foundations. So the All Nighter is a much more heavier consistency. It does tend to sink into pores on me, and it can sink into fine lines. That's why I generally mix this with a different foundation. So it's going to be a really good one to test out. And also it oxidizes. So this is the color that it comes out. And once I kind of apply it to my skin, you can kind of see that, oh, it's not really changing color, is it? Maybe this primer does actually stop it from oxidizing. I think I put way too much of that foundation on the back of my hand. I usually pump out that much for a full face, but I forgot that I'm only doing half. Silly yachting. You know what? This has oxidized. Color on the back of my hand, face. It's oxidized. Damn it, you liar, primer. You can see the way this foundation goes on, but then once it kind of settles into the skin, it goes kind of a deeper shade, like an orangey shade. That's why I find this foundation kind of tricky to wear, and I generally will mix it with something else. So that claim is debunked straight up. And like I said, this foundation also sinks into my little laughter lines, my little frown lines, and any kind of lines and wrinkles I have on my face. Okay, well that's blended out enough. I still have way too much foundation left. What a waste. Okay, let's not make the same mistake on the other side. So I'm just going to pump one little drop out. I'm going to take a different little paddle brush just to apply this. Yeah, it's oxidizing as well. Like, as you can see from this foundation, it just goes on lighter, and then as you blend, it changes colour. Damn it. I really had high hopes for the antioxidation in that primer. But to be honest, I buy these foundations in those colours because I know they're going to oxidize. Like, you can see the shade that it goes on, and then once you blend it out, it just completely changes. So yeah, I buy these foundations in lighter shades because I know that they are going to oxidize and look darker on my skin. So I'm well aware of it. But if you were purchasing these foundations for the first time, and if that primer actually did work, I feel like it'd be a miracle product. But sadly, it does not. Now, this foundation doesn't sink into my fine lines or pores, so I can't really test that out with this primer because it just never does it anyway with any primer. It's just not that kind of consistency. However, I have like these little 11 lines in between my brows, and it does tend to kind of creep in there throughout the day, and then that gets real oily and it just emphasizes it. So I'll be interested to see properties in this will avoid it from sinking in between my brows. I think it looks quite luminous because sometimes that all-nighter can make my skin look really flat, and I feel like it's kind of given a bit of a luminosity to it. With the fresh wear, it always looks luminous with it because that's like kind of the formula of that, but definitely with this foundation it can look flat and a bit too matte, and I think my skin looks quite radiant. So I'm gonna go about my day, and I'm gonna come back and give you a little update on this primer and just the way my foundation performed throughout the day and what it looked like. Did it keep it radiant looking, especially on the Urban Decay side, and did it avoid my foundation sinking into pores? Again, like, it doesn't claim that, so it's probably like a bit of a stretch for me to like put that out there, but I'm just going to see what way my foundations perform with this primer throughout the day, and I'm kind of excited to give us an update later on. Hey guys, so it's much later in the evening, it's just gone 5 o'clock. Said I would sit down and talk to you guys a little bit about how the primer has performed on my face now that we're a few hours into the wear. First of all, I think my foundation looks so good. I just love both these foundations so much because they just look really good, but I just want to kind of look a little bit up close and personal, kind of around like my mouth and kind of around the areas where I would normally get a bit of sinking. Oh, okay, so I have not looked in the mirror since I finished doing my video, and I'm looking at this now and I'm actually really shook. Like, I have a little bit of wearing off around my nose from where my glasses do be. That's just the worst. Like, I like, no matter how much I try and blot that area, like sometimes I can get it to work, sometimes I don't. It depends on the foundation, but like around my nose is kind of like worn off the foundation. But around my mouth, I have like no sinking into fine lines. And I generally struggle a lot with that, like around my smile lines around here. It's been like, what, it's 5 o'clock now. I tried this on at 9. That's nine hours. Like, it's a long time to have your foundation on. First of all, I know that this foundation looks so good after 9 hours. Both these foundations are just incredible. I love them. And this is why I recommend them to everyone. But like along my forehead, like, I'm not joking. Like, normally I have such bad creases in my forehead. And like, you can actually see where the foundation has sunk in. And it's like, it's not only that it's sunk in, it's like that it creases like really badly in those areas. I'll kind of zoom in close for you guys because I don't think you can see what I see back here. So you can obviously see like where my makeup's worn off around my nose, but like here is where I normally get sinking. So this side is the Urban Decay and this side is the L'Oreal. I've no sinking into any fine lines or anything around those areas, and then in between the brows here is a big contender. Now you can see that dirty line, that big wrinkle right there, but it's not too bad. And then my forehead looks great. Like, normally I have like sinking, but I also have those like I said, creases on my forehead. So not only does it sink, but it actually creases. I have an itchy eye as well. Mother of God. I'm actually shook over the look of both these foundations. This one creases so bad on me, this foundation, the Urban Decay one. And so I always mix it with a lighter consistency, but it has done nothing like that. Nothing of the kind at all today. And both sides look really great. So I'm putting it down to the primer, guys. It has to be the primer because I know how, like I said, this foundation performs on my skin, and it just looks way better today. Like way better than it's ever looked before. Now, it could be all in my head, like total placebo effect with this, you know, where you're thinking like, oh, I'm seeing it better than it actually is. So I'm just going to keep trying it for like the next few weeks. See how I get on, report back in. But right now I actually think it looks really nice on my skin. I think my skin looks radiant. It doesn't look flat, and my foundation looks amazing. Like I said, both those foundations are pretty high contenders to being like holy grail stars for me. They actually are both kind of holy grail foundations. However, this primer is making my skin look even better. I generally don't say that about every single primer because sometimes primers actually look real slippy on my skin, or they just don't look good. Like my foundation kind of slips and slides on it, doesn't set properly. It makes my skin oilier, whatever. But this makes my foundations look great. I don't really know if it's hydrated my skin. I feel like it's made my skin a bit more luminous because, like I said, this side always looks quite flat, that foundation. Pore minimizing aspect of this, I guess I'm gonna have to try it for a bit longer because I'm not noticing anything right now. Not in any mirror that I'm looking at. My pores still look the exact same. Blurs, imperfections, I don't know, because I put like foundation on top. So there are some things that I can't tell. Like, obviously like the anti-pollution and stuff like that, like I can't tell. I'll get back to you guys with my monthly hits and misses about this, seeing how I get on. So far, I think it's great. Love you guys to try it and tell me what you think of it. 10 in 1. Maybe it doesn't hit all the marks, but it gets at least 6 or 7 of them for me. So that's not too bad. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video on that primer, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think of the primer. Let me know if there's any other products you want like a dedicated video on, and I will talk to all you guys in my next one. Mwah! Bye!